Gotham's just straight off the hook. Like, Gotham just went to a whole nother level this past week. We went from kinda being pretty cool, like moving in the direction of Bruce becoming Batman, to like he's doing some Batman shit now. Like, damn, that jump across the rooftops, his landing, that was like Spider-Man-esque. That, well, you know what I'm saying? He landed in the crouching position. It was like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Batman and shit. He just jumped across the roof and landed, looked up like he was fucking Batman. Damn! It was really hope, because it did. I don't know if everyone knows this or not, but it is official. Ben Affleck is directing and starring in the next Batman movie. So we're gonna get an actual Batfleck film. Batfleck. And it's going to be amazing. I believe it's going to be amazing. I hope, if Ben chooses to put a young Bruce Wayne in the movie for any reason, like any flashbacks or anything, I hope to God they use the kid from Gotham. Because he is nailing it right now. Like, he's pulling off what I think a young Bruce Wayne would be like. Exactly. So, in this episode, as we know from last week, Bruce has moved out of the mansion. He's living with Kat. They're out robbing from criminals, and that's pretty much how it opens. They're running away from a criminal and end up having to jump rooftops, and it's a beautiful scene. I encourage you to watch it. It is available to stream online now. We're dealing again. They've got Commissioner Gordon, Jim Gordon at this point, has gotten broken out of jail, and he's off trying to prove himself innocent, which he ends up doing. And I think it's funny how it happens. We all know, because if you've been watching the show, we all know that it's been the Riddler or Edward Nygma that's been doing it. And so, in a kind of a leap of faith, Gordon goes to Nygma's house with this tape of the anonymous tip or whatever to the DEA or to the prosecuting attorney, and they get a tape, but the guy who called in had disguised his voice. Now, but just based on the cadence of his voice, it sounded exactly like Nygma. Like, even if I didn't know him very well, I would be like, dude, it's that guy. Like, nobody else on the earth talks like that. So, but he doesn't know, because he's disguised his voice on the tape. He has to take the tape to Nygma to see if Nygma can figure out or clean it up and make it work right, which is hilarious, because knowing something about what it is that they're doing, they're not doing anything. He's like, here, I'm going to clean this, and he just plays it. But so anyway, he cleans it up. It becomes very clear at that point that the guy's voice is still disguised. But what's not disguised in the background is the sound of a cuckoo clock, which Gordon immediately realizes is sitting across from him in the room. Nygma's out on him, and it just goes from there. And it's a pretty good back and forth until inevitably Nygma is just caught. And so now we have the Riddler, for all intents and purposes, going into Arkham. They've released Harley. She's not Harley, but I'm calling her that. Barbara Gordon. She is now released, because this version of Doctor Strange is so awesome that he just wants to basically figure out what's wrong with people. Or not really that. It seems like he just enjoys seeing how different stimuli affect different people in different ways, and he likes to watch it. So he's released her out into the wild to see what she does. Obviously, the first thing is she goes to Jim's house, or his apartment, which is, that happens at the end of the episode. But so Jim's name is clear now. They've realized that he was framed, which is hilarious, because his name is clear from killing someone who he did kill. Well, no, that's not right. So that was all Nygma, but it was the other guy, the main bad from last season, that he actually did kill. So it's kind of weird how he's getting away with murder, but he's not getting away with murder in this situation. Now he has gotten away with 2 counts of murder, only he didn't do one of them. I don't know. So that said, we have some really good interactions this episode between Jim Gordon and Alfred. Alfred is just out of this world as far as, he knows that Bruce is on this path, and he knows that Bruce is inevitably gonna. I don't think he knows at this point that he's gonna end up fighting crime in a bat suit, but I think that at this point he realizes it's going to be more than just a childish obsession. So he's trying to do everything he can do to get Bruce to come back home and just kind of give up that. He has to end up doing that by convincing him basically to come back and research his dad's computer, because now they've found a way to get into it. And so Bruce has to give up. It's kind of funny. It comes down to an ultimatum of Bruce having to give up being with Kat or living with her in the streets of Gotham to try and figure out how to be a criminal, or to get into the mind of a criminal. He is now being prompted to come back home and leave her, and if he doesn't, then he's not going to know the secrets of what's on his dad's computer and what was down in that room and all of that good stuff. So he makes another hard choice. This is the second time we've seen Bruce have to do this, or choose to do this. He's going to cut Kat off, and he's going to go do his own thing. So, again, we had critics that were saying, Batman can't be running around the streets with Catwoman when they're kids, and they can't have had this long-standing relationship because she's going to immediately know that he's Batman. Well, she might, but this is another way where they can drive a wedge between that and kind of keep the status quo of, can they drift apart over time, and then when he comes back, it's kind of a shock because he's been gone for so long, kind of a thing. And so I think that's where they're going, unless of course he goes off with Kat again. They can't write her out of the show because she's doing such a good job being a young Catwoman. Now she even has a stitch on her shirt, and I thought it was, or on her leather jacket, and I thought it was awesome that she really dug that Bruce had stitched up the rip in her coat sleeve, and you look down and it looks very much like what she had worn in Batman the movie. So anyway, things are happening in Gotham, but we had the interaction between Alfred and between Jim Gordon was very intense, and it was almost as though Alfred was telling Jim, like, you screwed up big time, dude. It's because of you that all this is going on, but it all has already happened, so let's move on with it, and how do we fix it? So Jim now is on this mission. He thinks he's got to solve the case of the Wayne murders, so much so that he's not even going to go try to find Lee until he completes this task. He wants the Wayne files. He's going to dive into it, and he wants to solve that before he goes back to Lee or goes down and finds Lee wherever she may be. But he does have her phone number now. So, and it's kind of funny, she got new cards printed up very fast with her new phone number and address and whatever on it. It was almost as though she's like, because she's supposed to have lost the child, right? So it's almost as though she lost the child and then was like, new business cards, I'm moving. Oh, it's just because I don't take into account that it's been months in this world. It's just, to me, it's been an episode or two. So it's just like the very next day. She left the hospital and went to the print shop and got some business cards and then moved on. But, so he's getting ready to call her when rappity tap tap, somebody knocks on the door, and it's Barbara. What in the crap? I don't even know how that's going to go down. She's acting like she's reformed now. I don't know if she really is or if she was just pretending to be to get out. I'm fairly certain she was just pretending to be to get out, because she seemed kind of shocked about the fact that she was let go. That aside, the other big news about this, probably to me the biggest news about this episode, because it's probably one of the main reasons I'm watching the show, is the Penguin. I would really love to see him have his own show. He could carry an entire series. We know that Penguin was living with his estranged father, and that his stepmom basically had poisoned him. Well, we know that, but Penguin didn't. So at this point, all he knows is that his father's dead, He had not had time to rewrite the will and get Oswald in it. So now he's basically just on his own. He has nobody or nothing. And so he feels like he has to basically suck up to his stepmom and stepbrother and sister in order to have a place in the world. So they immediately make him a slave. Their thing is, heir to this fortune, and he may try to lay a claim on it. And even if he isn't able to successfully take it from them, he's probably going to get a piece of it. So in her mind, they keep him close so that he doesn't pull anything like that. They keep his self-esteem way, way down, and then eventually they're going to kill him but make it look like a suicide. So that's what's coming, and he has no idea, and he's doing everything she asks of him. She's being a total B to him, every chance she can, and so are the kids. And eventually, he ends up finding I think it's brandy, right? The sherry, yeah. Is it called a carafe or a carafe? Carafe, I don't know. The thing that you put brandy in that doesn't have a lid on it. That's what the poison was in. Rich people use them. I don't know what that's called. I saw them a lot in Lex's house on Smallville. Yeah, we'll do that another time. I was getting ready to talk about how basically alcohol is being shoved down everyone's throats. It's hard to watch. You can't even watch a show anymore where people aren't drinking. But anyway, my point is not that. My point is that he finds the bottle, and it's pretty sick what he does, but he is, after all, the Penguin. This would not ever have been my first thought. He smells it and he thinks it could possibly be poison, so he puts it in a bowl and gives it to the dog. And the dog drinks it, laps it all up, which I wouldn't expect to happen either. I mean, a dog sticks their tongue in brandy. What do you think's going to happen? That's going to burn, I would assume. That's a lot of taste for a doggy tongue. A lot of nasty taste for a doggy tongue. But no, he licks it right up and ends up dying. Oddly enough, without very much sound or turmoil. But at that point, Penguin knows that his dad had been poisoned. So it's on now. And that's pretty much what Lyda and I had said, was that something's going to happen. They're going to do him dirty some way, and he's going to turn back into the old Penguin. And that's what happened. So it's just really disgusting what did happen. And, I know Penguin's a pretty hard dude, but I didn't really realize he was like Jeffrey Dahmer hard or whatever. Is that who I'm thinking of? I don't know. I don't even know if that's the guy. Clarice or whatever. What's that movie? Hannibal Lecter. That's who I'm trying to think of. Clarice. So I guess I just spoiled it. So his stepmom had told him that he had to cook this roast for Sunday dinner. And she made a huge deal out of how it had to be the best roast, and he had to get it from a specific place. And if he screwed it up, this is the last thing she was going to take. She was going to put him out and blah, blah, blah. So he cooked up a roast, and he calls her to dinner. She sits down and she tries a piece of the roast, and she's like, "Oh, how is that?" And she's like, "Oh, it's too dry." He's like, "Oh, well, okay, try the other side. It's much more tender." And she tries it, and she's like, "Not good," or whatever. She keeps calling for the stepbrother and sister to come to the table, and they're not coming. And finally he tells her they're not coming, that in fact she has just eaten them, and that the daughter should have definitely been more tender than the son. And the mom just freaks out, and then he cuts her throat, and they're left sitting there at the dining room table while he apparently drinks. I hope that was wine that he was drinking. It was awful red. Whatever it was, he was drinking a glass full of something red, and she was sitting across from him with her just bleeding out of her neck, dead. I'm hoping that wasn't supposed to have been her blood, because that's just weird, and I don't even know why Penguin would do that. But at any rate, he's back now. I mean, he's got a fortune, he's got a mansion, he's Penguin again. So thank goodness, because I didn't enjoy it the other way. I like it better when he's Penguin. And I like it better when Nigma's Nigma, or Riddler. So that's where things are heading. Nigma can't come back from this now. He's in I think he's in Arkham. I'm not sure. He could be in jail, but he'll soon be in Arkham. Um, if he isn't just with the general population. But I mean, it's almost full on Batman at this point. There's not a whole lot further that they're going to be able to go without starting to, I don't know, bring in Ra's al Ghul and whatnot. And that would be cool if they choose to do that. I'm down. I would follow this show all the way up to like he dons the suit. I mean, honestly, I think they could continue this into his traveling, his learning, martial arts and all that kind of Batman stuff. But there is no hashtag DC TV secrets for this week's Batman. If you saw anything that you think should have been in there, tweet it with the hashtag DC TV secrets. And if you want to, add the @var_nation to it, and we'll retweet it. Because there probably was some stuff. I don't know why they didn't do that. I have no idea. But anyway, so that's the DC TV portion of the show. You can catch those shows on Monday night, Supergirl and Gotham. Gotham on Fox and Supergirl on CBS, both at 8 p.m. They are rivals. But anyway, on DCComics.com now, we're going to look at an article called Exploring the Amazon. Oh, it's 5. I thought it was 10. 5 uniquely different Wonder Woman comics. And this is essentially for people who they're thinking saw Wonder Woman and Batman v Superman and are thinking, oh, she's super cool, and I want to get to know her more. So there are several books that you can read. I think we should start with our picks first. So the first one, and this is Lida's. Was this it? Sensation Comics? Wonder Woman number 1, Wonder Woman Volume 1, Blood. That was a good one. What else we got here? They mentioned Wonder Woman New 52's debut. I would skip that. The Legend of Wonder Woman number 1. It might be good. I haven't read it. The cover looks pretty cool. I just wasn't down with, Yeah, I'm Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman Volume 1. Or you can download it. I liked it much more when she was just the original story. Because I like Wonder Girl being the daughter of Zeus. Whatever. I don't always get what I want. Ooh. Wonder Woman Earth 1 Volume 1. That was a good one, actually. The Legend of Wonder Woman. But that would have been after Crisis on Infinite Earths, probably. Terry Dodson, Grant Morrison. I'm gonna be on board with anything Grant Morrison does. So that one looks good. That's The next one is Wonder Woman Volume 7, War Torn. Then Wonder Woman Volume 8 was an ongoing series, but that was the Meredith Finch and David Finch and Sonia Oback. It's a pretty awesome cover. Damn. I know you guys can't see this because I'm on DCComics.com, so I'm not being very specific here, but you can see it if you go to DCComics.com, and it'll be the first link on the page. Nice little picture of Wonder Woman with the stories. I should not have gone backwards because I may have skipped some of those. So yeah, but that's the one they actually suggest starting with. Wonder Woman, the current ongoing series, I think. It's Wonder Woman Volume 8. It becomes available on May 18th. And then we've got Wonder Woman Volume 7, War Torn, which those, I do not believe they share the same continuity. Wonder Woman Earth 1, Volume 1, The Legend of Wonder Woman. And I love, they put on here too, like, who will this appeal to? Traditional fantasy lovers, people who dreamed of visiting Narnia or Neverland as children, younger readers, and people who prefer a more traditional take on Wonder Woman. So that's who will like The Legend of Wonder Woman. That's pretty interesting. So you can see which one of these will fit. I wonder which one the New 52 appeals to. To fans of classic Vertigo comics like The Sandman, Fables, and what the hell? Mythology buffs, Game of Thrones devotees, and anyone who's ever wondered what a gun-toting Wonder Woman would look like. So not me at all. That's pretty much... Yeah, yeah, I like Game of Thrones and I like Fables. I do not have any desire to see a gun-toting Wonder Woman. That to me seems like a smack in the face to Wonder Woman. So sorry, but that would not be on my list whatsoever. So I guess it's good to know what they appeal to, but that's the New 52 one that they're talking about there. God, I still don't understand why the New 52 exists. Wonder Woman Volume 1, Blood. Who's that going to appeal to? Everybody. Seriously, everybody. If you can't find at least one story here that you enjoy, then you just don't like Wonder Woman. And that could be very true, and that's the story that you said you would want to read first, too. Well, it's...
Like, it looks like her original, like the George Perez-ish.
Yeah, it looks very George Perez-ish. I dig it. So that's the top 5 Wonder Woman books that DC Comics suggests you read if you are semi-new to Wonder Woman and you want to catch up on the character's history. They also have the pull list for this week up now. I'm glad. I complained 2 weeks in a row, and now they're calling it the pull list again. I do have power over DC Comics. So what that tells me is I should keep complaining about the Man of Steel franchise until they do away with it. The pull list this week is Wonder Woman, but keep Henry Cavill, keep all the actors, just get rid of Zack Snyder. Wonder Woman Earth 1, Volume 1, Harley Quinn and her Gang of Harleys number 1, and DC Comics April 2016 previews catalog. It is the DC Universe Rebirth, so we're going to get the backstory or the big picture of the DC Universe Rebirth. And so it is the beginning of it. It says it all starts here, and that is available now, so we need to pick that up while we can, because that'll be something. But I see Superman. I see the S on his chest. Batman is in the way of me seeing if he has trunks on or not. If Superman has trunks on, I'll flip over backwards, and I'll go buy it as soon as the store opens in the morning. If Superman doesn't have trunks on, I'll meander down there tomorrow afternoon and buy it, and I'll come home and I'll begrudgingly read it. No, I won't. I'll still enjoy it. But that is the pull list for this week on DCComics.com, and that is pretty much our show. This has been DCU Tonight. We're live on VAR Nation, the YouTube channel that supports us. If you enjoy the show, please sub to VAR Nation and like and share the videos once they're up on YouTube. I'm probably going to end up combining these two because you got a double dose of DCU Tonight. The 2 tonights in DCU Tonight. But yeah, follow us, like, share, become a part of VAR Nation, join our family of VARs, and, it helps us. We love to survive. Play the game and share the videos. That's all we ask. But for Hippolyta Kent, this is Rock VAR saying peace out.